incredibly loud. That's better. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, let me take my face and put it on there. Yes, I am bald. Welcome to Monday night. It is a stream by the Crossroads. It is myself and Stannis Stig Kenobi tonight. Hopefully everyone is doing well out there. If you are one of my only Wednesday or Saturday followers, this is a very different type of stream. We're much more laid back, where we break down the chapter by chapter of A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. We are in A Clash of Kings. Chapter 49 we're starting with tonight, which is Tyrion 11, I believe. And again, with me tonight is Stannis Stig Kenobi, the Great One. How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well.
I screwed that all up. I screwed up your entrance.
It's okay. I've screwed things too.
Yeah, it's one of those days, man. I came back from my trip last, Thursday, Friday, and I haven't felt like I'm in the swing of it yet. But I'm here, so that's good. What did you think about these chapters we're going to be reading tonight?
I don't know. I read them last year.
I know, dude. I am so behind.
It'll come back to me though as soon as we get into the summaries. But Clash of Kings and what is it, Storm of Swords?
Yep.
Book 2 and 3. That's a heck of a lot of stuff happens in those.
It really does. It really does. Game-changing stuff.
Maybe especially the third one.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, massive things. But I think game-changing moments happen in the second one, but like world-turning moments. I don't know how to explain it, but like world-turning moments happen in the third book. Game-changing, like you think it's going one way and oops, it goes the other. But in the third one, like family lines can end. You know what I mean? Like it just, things change.
Yeah, it's especially at weddings.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see who is in the chat. We got our usual small crew on a Monday night, which I love. Makini90, who hit 600 subs, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, man, but Makini90 with his 600 subs. Please, guys, if you're not subscribed to Makini, he's a great artist, a great guy, and just, heartbeat type guy of the fandom. So please send him some love. We have one of our co-hosts, Miss Martin Muses, who is on vacation, so that's why she is not here.
I sent the red woman on the wall.
You left her behind, huh? He's the king of the north.
Supposed to take her ashore on the boats at Davos.
Yeah, I would say leave her behind. Tina Bojan, not our Teresa though. Tina Bojan's here. She's a channel member and a friend. Good evening, friends. She'll be working and lurking. Sonny Frank, who is one of my OG A Song of Ice and Fire fans. It's good to see you, Sonny. And also one of my newest channel member, Cody Guy. Thank you for being here. Hope your night is going well. Again, this is our laid back, I do this one because I love it. I love it. I know you love it. Granted, when we started this, do you think how long have we been doing this? Over a year, right?
Yeah, a year and a half.
Year and a half, and we're not even through the second book.
To be honest, I thought we'd be further in.
Oh God, yes.
But now,
I literally thought by now we should at least be getting close to starting A Dance with Dragons.
Yep.
We're only on the second book. But you know what? That goes to show you, like, we were going to try to blast through them, but even like the chapters you think don't have a lot to offer are some of like the ones when somebody else says something, you're like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. And it opens the door to you seeing the chapter in a different light.
Yeah, and when we have Jayne and Teresa and Tauriel on,
yep,
they tend to spot things too that we miss.
Yep.
So yeah.
I love having everybody on. It's been a while since Lady Tauriel and I think Jayne. When was Jayne on last? I don't know, but love you guys. Miss you guys.
It wasn't that long since.
No, it's just a couple episodes, I think. But again, we go so slow and we miss weeks here and there, so it seems like it's longer.
Yeah, but it's summer now too, so
yeah,
people will miss stuff.
It'll slow down even more.
Yeah, it's gonna get better when winter's coming.
I see what you did there, and I liked it. Please, God, let winter come. Could we please get winter? You still think?
What if we finally get the winds of winter and it sucks?
I'm breaking down every chapter. I don't care. Well, I think I've been waiting for it so long that you're going to have the two class of people that everybody's been waiting so long for the winds of winter. They either psych themselves out. Like, let's say it did suck, but they, no matter what he gave us, they expected like the sun and the stars. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he could never reach that goal. And then you're going to have the other people, which I may be kind of in that class because I am a simp for George R. R. Martin. I can't beat the guy up too much, even though he is pissing me off a bit. But, like, I think I'll be one of those people that are like, well, no, he's hiding the details in this chapter, and really it was crap, like.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? If he spent 10 years on it, it better be good. But,
yeah, has he really spent 10 years on it, though?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be 10 years in November or something.
Yeah, in my feelings, though, he took, like you always say, the chapters from the leftover chapters from A Song of Dance with Dragons, and for a massive chunk of that, he probably didn't do much.
Yeah,
there's no way.
He said he had about 400 pages left over from book 5. Right. And he said 2 or 3 times that he had written several hundred pages.
Right.
So
right.
Just by, as an average, though, several hundred, it's more than 200.
Right.
Because that would be a couple of hundred. But so I'm guessing 300 at the minimum, twice. So he's at 1,000 pages, I'm guessing.
Right. And what is a transcript is only like 50 or whatever you call the first copy, 1,500. So really, how much? Like
I don't know.
I can't imagine. I don't know. Sonny Frank says, I will be grateful for anything that George R. R. Martin writes to further this story. And I'm with you. Like, I'm one of those people that I just wanted to come to an end and be satisfying.
Well,
like
he was doing an interview now.
Recently, right?
About a video game he's written.
Oh, I heard about that.
And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, is George a troll, or is George that oblivious that his fandom, like, true? Like, I think with age comes wisdom, and he just really lets a lot of stuff just kind of roll past him. But, like, he has to understand his most, dedicated followers are also questioning what's going on.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think after the show, he got high on being famous.
During the show, too.
Because he shows up on everything.
Yep.
You know? But, you know, that's just a hunch.
No, I don't doubt it.
Evil. But
no, not at all. Dude, he deserves it for how many decades he worked in Hollywood. He deserves to enjoy the fruits of his like almost finished.
It's like he's overcompensating for, you know, the praise and success he didn't have before.
It could be.
But I've actually noticed something funny.
Yeah.
A Dance with Dragons came out in 2011.
Right.
And so did Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V, the video game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a great one.
And yeah, but there's no Elder Scrolls 6 yet.
Oh, my God. Are they working together?
You'd think so. And that, you know, Book 6, Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, my God.
Both of them are lagging 10 years behind, kind of. And
because Skyrim, I remember when that came out, people were
And another fun thing is they released like an online game set in that universe in between, which is kind of like their dunk and egg almost, right?
Oh my God.
And then they're not releasing the 6th one until they've done some space game before that. So
that's like
there's a lot of similarities.
Not Wild Cards. What's the other book series he does that just was a TV show or a mini series or something like that?
Oh yeah, the space
sci-fi
thing.
Yeah, the space thing. So like it's almost like they follow the same path.
So
that's crazy.
They haven't started the Elder Scrolls 6 yet, though. So if he doesn't finish Book 6 before that, then fuck him. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting it out there. I want to be the Orville Nation of A Song of Ice and Fire. So if there's anybody who worked on the show or is working on the new show and wants to be interviewed by a little channel, send it to Sporking News. You can find my info somewhere on my channel. Just send me a comment. Let me interview you. Because I got to know, like, was George around? Like, how often was he around?
You know what you can do, though?
What?
Just have someone not be on camera and do a voice. You can just claim the person works for the show.
Sources say.
Yes.
We're fucked up.
My name is Rupert.
Rupert.
Yeah, I'm a cameraman on the HBO show.
No, you know what you do? You get like that voice box sounding thing, I worked on Game of Thrones in 2008, like something stupid like that, like.
Oh yeah, so you use the pixie voice?
Yeah, and then I'll do something that pixelates your face. So like, like it's actually somebody there, but they can't tell who. Roger H with Canadian. I always want to say California. A Canadian 199. He has a thumbs up super sticker. I'm guessing at that. I don't even have to look because my man always hooks me up with a super sticker, and I really appreciate it.
Canadian money would be marked as RU, I think.
RU?
Russian.
Those commie bastards. After the some of the laws they just recently passed, their bills, I feel bad for people in Canada.
But California.
Oh, California's even worse, dude. They are knocking down 4 hydro dams. I recently heard. Now I could have this wrong, so if I'm wrong, I apologize to the state of California. But I heard they were knocking down 4 hydro dams because of a rare smelt fish of some sort that like they want to redirect the river and save the smelt instead of giving people that already have rolling brownouts in the summer, power. Makes no sense.
Sense. They get what they vote for, so they deserve it.
One of my buddies lives down south, and he's like, we got a lot of people coming in from Cali. I just hope they don't bring their politics with them. I was like, yeah, that's a valid point, man. That's a valid point.
Shit like this is why gatekeeping is actually a valid option.
A valid option.
Yeah.
Walls. I just lost half my audience, and I don't care. But no, I want to say, Rod, thank you always for giving me super stickers, man. This Saturday I had crazy amount. I'll thank Drunk 3PO for hooking me up with that really big one. Thanks a lot, man. And then like Lola Meatz and everybody else who was just throwing little $2 ones at me nonstop. It was great. You know what I'm talking about, Tina. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what we got for chapter 49. I'm reading that, right? So yeah. Chapter 49 is Tyrion, and he's pretty much getting ready for Stannis, I guess. So Tyrion dispatches his clansmen, so these are the mountain men, into the King's Wood to raid Stannis' baggage trains, ambush his scouts, and perform night raids. Tyrion feels he can trust only about a quarter of the 6,000 men in the City Watch and feels unprepared for the coming battle. He orders Bronn to start burning down the houses along the way by the... What is that? Quay? By the Qua? Quay? What is that?
I think it's Quay.
Quay?
Sure.
Okay. By the Quay. If anybody in the chat knows what Quay is, please let me know the definition. Feeling that the enemy could scale the wall easier by climbing on the roofs of the houses. It must be like a makeshift little village.
A quay is a noun. It's a stone or metal platform lying alongside or projecting into water for loading and unloading ships.
Oh.
Basically, it's a dock.
It's a pier or dock. Okay. Tyrion is aware that Winterfell has fallen to the Iron Men. Balon Swan has been named to the Kingsguard to replace Preston Greenfield, and Tyrion approves. But he does not approve of Cersei's choice of Osmond Kettleblack to replace Boris Blunt. Boris was stripped of his white cloak after he surrendered Tommen immediately when Jocelyn's men overtook them. Boris is rotting in Rosby dungeon on the count of treason since the Kingsguard are supposed to give their lives in defending the royal family. Joffrey gives Balon and Osmond their white cloaks in the royal sept. Tyrion has appointed the new High Septon and tells him to warn the people that Stannis means to burn the Great Sept of Baelor. Tyrion is also visited by Halen from the Alchemist Guild, and who is just hilarious in my mind, and is surprised to learn that they have 13,000 jars of wildfire, way ahead of schedule. When Tyrion asks why, the pyromancer explains that their spells have been more potent of late, but is at a loss to explain why. He asks Tyrion if there are any dragons about, and elaborates something he heard a long time ago, that magic began to disappear from the world when the last dragon died. Jocelyn informs Tyrion that Tommen is safe, but the Hand does not know where the boy is being kept in case Tyrion is captured and tortured by the invaders. Varys then informs Tyrion of a plot by several merchants calling themselves Antler Men to arm commoners in the street. Tyrion writes the order for their arrest, one of them being the master smith Celeron. What? How do you say his name? That was... Yeah, Celeron. Was that the...
No, Salorian.
Salorian. Wasn't that Gendry's master? I'm going to look that up real quick. Son, older man, he's rich, attire included. Approached by much of steel. Oh, he was just one of the ones that Tyrion was helping with Tyrion with the monstrous steel chain. Okay. All right, maybe I was wrong. I thought for some reason he was the one that Gendry. Tobo Mott was. Oh yeah, you're right. Duh. Thank you. Sonny Frank on top of it. So what do you think about that chapter?
You get to see Tyrion at work, I guess.
Yep.
Basically doing almost last minute preparations because this stuff is happening. Stannis is getting closer,
right?
And I like that they tossed in that George tossed in the bit that the pyromancers' spells are more potent.
Yes,
and they don't know why.
Right.
And interesting that they're working with fire too, almost like it's foreshadowing, right?
Right, dragon fire. Pretty
it's
much.
It's basically napalm that they're making.
It's the closest thing they could make to actual dragon fire. That's why That's why the pyromancers came into effect, because they wanted something I believe when the dragons were dying out or getting smaller, something as potent as dragon fire.
Yeah,
and that's when that became huge, right?
They're trying to emulate magic with science, pretty much.
Right. And it's funny that he asks, "Are there dragons around?" And we see that also with the warlocks of Karth, that their power has gotten. So there's two now connections to dragons have brought back. Was it the comet, or was it the birth of the dragons? Was it the White Walkers? I say it's definitely the dragons.
You know,
has brought back power.
And what's interesting though?
What's that?
It does not affect Melisandre. She seems to be using a different power source.
Yeah. Oh, valid point, man. The only time we ever see her feel stronger is when she's at one of the so-called hinges of the world, like the wall. But you're absolutely right. Her power has never. Well, let me think about that. In one of her, in her own POV chapter, I want to. She says something about it, right?
Yeah, she says she's more powerful near the wall.
Right.
Which I believe is because she's closer to Bloodraven, who I believe is the Lord of Light.
Right.
Because she also sees his face more clearly.
That's true.
So better reception.
Better reception, right? Fire and Ice, the song of, kind of works out that way. I'm trying to remember when I think what they're talking about, what he was talking about, Tyrion, when they got rid of the Kingsguardmen, when they were being attacked in the street. Was that when he said he almost gave up Tommen, or he gave Tommen up too easily? Was that when they got attacked in the street and Sansa got taken, but
yeah, I think
the Hound saved her?
Well, he didn't give up Tommen. He gave up Joffrey, wasn't it? No, Tommen.
It is Tommen. Yeah, he gave up Tommen, which, you know, the guy
you're not supposed to do that.
For.
Yeah, you're supposed to, if you're a Kingsguard, you're supposed to fight and die.
Yeah, die for that.
So that's I
forgot all about that though.
Yeah, he's like President's bodyguard, right?
Yeah, there are some interesting stuff, like you said, about Tyrion in this. Like Tyrion, without Tyrion there, they would never have been prepared for Stannis.
Yeah, they would have lost.
Oh, well, we don't know if they lost or won yet. Yeah. Come on, it's in the book. It's in the book. They would have
lost quickly.
Yes. But like he thinks of getting rid of the buildings that are up against that have grown around the city wall. Like these are things I don't think Cersei would have thought of. He demolished that and said, you know, like we'll worry about it, you know, those people later. Like right now it's the defense of the city. He did things that made people hate him, but for the right reasons. You know, he demolished people's peers, Qua or whatever that is. You know, he did this stuff.
He's literally hated by his peers.
But, you know, like...
Maybe they will dock his pay.
Dock his pay. You are on fire tonight, man. Fire.
Wildfire.
No, wildfire. Okay, that was good. But like he gets rid of the piers, so they can't bring their ships farther in and dock, you know, just jump off onto the piers. They'll have to row in, or they'll have to, if they're coming by land, he sends the clans. I hate calling them clansmen. Sent the mountain men, you know, to harass them. So no matter what he has the chain being built. So no matter what way they come in, land or by sea, Tyrion has thought of it. You know, this is something that Cersei and Joffrey would never have thought of.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Time Prophet makes a cool point. It says, if they can make dragon fire...
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it's explosive. They could have made cannons, too.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, let's say our science went a different direction 200 years ago. Who's to say we wouldn't have made engines but found a different way of flying? You know what I mean? Like, it's just the direction their world went in. Like the idea of horseless carriages have not come to them yet, which I find weird too. I would think you can create something like wildfire. There's, you know, that's chemistry. You know, that's a lot of chemistry. You could probably have found cures for diseases like, you know, grayscale much easier, I would think.
It's actually like a cool thing near the end of the Wheel of Time series. Someone invents a horseless carriage.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I still got to read that. Sonny Frank has a valid point. I really do think that's it, Sonny. Tyrion doesn't get credit for any of the preparation. Actually, we know what happens to Tyrion after the battle. If you've read ahead, I think we are supposed to feel sorry for him. I don't even think we're supposed to. You just do. You know what I mean? You just do. Sam McCabe, what's up, my brother? Guys, check out his channel, please. Sam's a great dude, and his brother Nick too. And Keck44 in the house. Howdy. There's a couple other things I wanted to hit on, but yes, think about the preparation he puts into this battle. He thinks of everything. He also talks about, him and Bronn get into this discussion about sellswords, and Tyrion's planning on giving knighthoods to if they stay and fight for them. And I love what Bronn says, and I don't know if I could find it. They'll kill for the knighthood, but don't ever think they'll die for it. So what he's pretty much telling Tyrion, and Tyrion he's not delusional, but telling him, yes, you could trust sellswords to a point, but no matter what you promise them, you could promise them the kingship of the country. If they think they're going to die, they're out. That's why they're sellswords. They're not, hedge knights trying to find a freaking, lord to work for. Do you think they didn't make mechanical things because they relied on magic too much? You know what? Yes. I think, because this is only less than 200 years since the last dragon. So their world was magic. And like the Valyrians predating Westeros, and even predating the Valyrians, you had the Great Empire of the Dawn. I think they were even way more way more advanced. I can't say the word. Oh my God. But yeah, they were way more advanced than they are even now today. There are some YouTubers like Preston Jacob who I kind of agree with. Like, this is a post-apocalyptic world because you find a lot of these underground cities, probably from the long night living underground to survive. You find this black stone all around the world that is like the base of the high tower, the Seastone's chair, like these towers, 5 towers that's like the wall in Essos. Like, you find all these things that are relics of this past great dynasty. So I find that to be interesting. So yes. It's
actually the same thing in Terry Brooks's Shannara books. It's a fantasy world and all, but you find out later it's 3,000 years after the United States had a nuclear war.
Oh my God, that's dope.
Yeah, and the Wheel of Time as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the cool thing there is a bunch of the bad guys got sealed in with basically Satan, and he's starting to break free.
Okay.
And when they get out, the world has changed because it was almost like a sci-fi place when they got sealed in then. Right. So they're like, where's the flying carts and all kinds of stuff.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I got to read some of this stuff. You always tell me all these great books, and I'm a busy guy. I know that, but I can find time to read a chapter a night at least.
Yeah.
Well, once my son is born in September, I'll get like a couple weeks off of work. Maybe I'll start something now, and then I can really finish it then.
You basically have a series of 14 books that are close to having as much depth as Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But Jordan at least, finished it, or rather he had someone finish it for him because he died.
I read a lot of the first book, but I feel like I would have to go back and read it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's been so long. So I'm going to definitely do that. But back to this one, we got... another thing I found really cool is when Tyrion found out that Winterfell fell. He could almost... so when he found out, he was shocked. He was shocked that Winterfell fell. No doubt he should be rejoicing. Robb Stark would have turned north now. Tyrion had only the vague memory of Theon Greyjoy from his time with the Starks. You know, a callow youth, always smiling, skilled with the bow. It was hard to imagine him as the Lord of Winterfell. The Lord of Winterfell would always be a Stark. So he talks about like that, and then he goes into, he remembered their godswood, and he talks about how like that wood was Winterfell. It was the North. It never felt so out of place as I did when I was walking there. So much as unwelcomed intruder. He wondered if the Greyjoys would feel it too. The castle might well be theirs, but never the gods would. Not in a year or 10 or 50. I wonder if he felt the magic of, I don't know, like the magic of Winterfell. Does he understand maybe like even subliminally, subconsciously, that like there was something different about the Starks? You know what I mean? Like, even though they're his enemy, there's something about the Starks that there was an honor and something ancient and magical about them. I don't know. It just, the way he talks about it makes me feel like even the godswood is alive and it wouldn't accept anyone but a Stark.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have too much to go on.
Right. Just that
but,
right there.
Yeah.
Shannara. I watched the show. I really liked it.
Oh, read the book and then you'll hate it.
Yeah?
Yeah, the book. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they had DVDs and shit.
See, I liked it. I thought it was all right. I'll say it. It was the one chick on it. She was really cute. Like I couldn't stand the actor who got the power, but I thought it was a cool concept. So I would like to see where it went.
If it's 3,500 years after a Holocaust,
yeah,
the DVDs wouldn't work.
Right. That's absolutely right.
Or the guns.
Right, because that was a post-apocalyptic world, Earth, right?
Yeah, basically the books are more like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So imagine my shock when I saw that show.
I would love. You know what? I got to buy Kai's book. I got to support him. Thank you for reminding me, Tina. I told him I'd buy that a long time ago. I heard his book is great. I don't know if you know who Kai is, but he's one of.
I was on his channel the other day.
Great.
We were doing that drawing game.
Oh, Pictionary?
Yeah, I didn't understand it right away.
Yeah.
But so I just drew fucked up shit, which Christy liked.
Yeah. Yeah. You know she would. That's awesome. I miss Christy. I haven't seen her in a while. Christy, if you're out there, love you. Hope everything's all right. I like what you put here. I felt the Starks were built up to be so great, but they got so easily defeated. Did they? They may have lost battles. I'll give you that.
Well, it took backstabbing to deal with them. You know, Robb actually didn't lose battles.
Yeah. He never lost a battle. Yeah.
They lost basically to the Game of Thrones.
Yep. Well, he may have. Don't forget. Spoilers. It's so hard to do these without talking about the future books, but we do our best.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to.
Yeah, it's one of those. Remember?
Yes. Yeah. Don't listen to me. I was confused.
Strike that, people. Strike what he was just saying.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah, he was confused. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. I love how much he can't stand Osmond Kettleblack, but he does really. He's impressed with Balon Swan. Oh God, there was one other thing that he said. I do like the Pyromancer guys, but we kind of talked about that. All right, I'm good with this chapter. How about you?
Yeah, there's not too much in it. It's just Tyrion being
Just smart as hell, man. Smart as hell. Marby, what's up, brother? People watch this stream to get spoilers. Don't feel bad. There's a lot of people that actually watch this stream that have never read the books. They just enjoy listening to us talk about it, which means the world to me. Like, literally, like, if you enjoy listening to us talk about a book you never read, that means at least we're doing a decent job explaining it. And I actually find that to be really, really cool. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I got to show you something. I don't know why. This is so random. My great-great-grandfather drew this, and my aunt gave it to me. And I just thought it was really neat that, like, an ancestor of mine I don't know, this is probably like over 100 years old, drew that.
Wow, he has had skills.
Yeah, right? Like, the detail on it is gorgeous. I had two of them. One kind of looks like a stone Jesus. Hold on. I got the one other one. I'm going to hang them up in here so you can see them actually, but I call that stone Jesus. Yeah. Pretty cool though, right? I think they're gorgeous. And you can see like how old the paper is, like on that corner there, you know? I just think that's really cool.
Are you sure it's not Lenin?
Oh, Jesus. I hope that's not Lenin. But you got a point there. He might be bald. I wonder, was my great-great-grandfather a commie? Yeah, pretty cool. I really dig this. But anyways, I'm sorry about that, people. Yeah, you want to we'll read the next chapter, which I hate these chapters. I'm going to be honest. I hate these chapters, but it's because he's freaking annoying, you know? He goes, Stalin. Is that Stalin? Holy crap. Is it Stalin and Lenin he drew? No, that's not Stalin. Yeah, not John Lennon. Different Lennon. What's up, memes? How you doing, my brother? Okay, so here we go. Whenever you are ready, sir.
Okay. Chapter 50. Theon something. Theon suddenly wakes up in Eddard Stark's former bedroom with the girl Kyra sleeping next to him. He tries to calm himself, but as he cannot remember dreaming, he cannot put it down to a bad dream. He gets out of bed, opens the window, and looks outside, where all is quiet. He goes back to bed until he realizes which sound is missing. The direwolf. He sends Erzin, who is guarding at his door, to check up on the direwolves, who have been locked up in the Godswood. Recalling the day the direwolves had torn the wildlings who had attacked Bran Stark in the Wolfswood, the idea of the direwolves running around makes him feel queasy. He wakes up Wex Pike, who is sleeping by the bed, and sends him out to check if Bran and Rickon Stark are still in their beds. Wex returns with the news that the two Starks are gone. As Theon finishes dressing, Erzin returns to tell him that the wolves are gone as well. Theon gives order to rouse the castle. As the order is being carried out, he wonders whether Stig has reached Deepwood Motte yet, knowing that his sister Asha might be on her way to Winterfell by now.
Wait a minute, who was that? What was his name?
Stig.
Oh, wow.
Stygg.
I know, spelled a little different, but pronounced the same.
No.
I always say your name wrong, don't I, Stig? It's Stig, right? It's Stig?
Yeah.
I always say, you have never corrected me.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
Stig, Stygg is actually how you spell ugly in Norway.
Get out of town. Seriously?
So every time you've...
I've been calling you ugly?
Yep.
I feel like such an ass. I'm sorry.
I don't mind. I've been called worse things.
So it's Stig. It's like a long E. Stig.
Yeah, Stig.
Okay, I'm going with that for now on. I'll screw it up. I can't even say my own name right.
It doesn't matter. I know who you mean when you say it.
Thanks, bro.
Continuing. The people of Winterfell are gathered in the yard. Theon angrily thinks that he tried to treat them justly, but that they have repaid him with betrayal. Urson and Black Lauren show Theon that Squint and Drennan, who had been guarding the Hunter's Gate, have been killed. He recognizes Squint's wounds as having been the work of the direwolves. He surmises that Drennan has been killed by the woman and realizes she must have had help from someone who freed the wolves. He thinks to himself that he should have killed the direwolves the day he took the castle. He decides to search for the wolves at daylight. In the yard, where Reek informs him that 6 people are missing, Bran, Rickon, Mira, and Jojen Reed, Hodor, and Osha. Learning Dancer is still in the stables, Theon realizes they escaped on foot, and that they would be slowed down by the fact that Bran would be in the basket on Hodor's back, and that Osha would need to carry Rickon. Theon confronts the people of Winterfell, who do not answer his questions. Reek suggests skinning them, but Theon loudly declares there will be no flaying in the north while he rules Winterfell, hoping some of the people at Winterfell will understand that he is the only thing protecting them from people like Reek. Theon organizes a hunt on Bran and Rickon, ordering Maester Luwin to accompany them, because he does not dare to leave Luwin behind at the castle. Little Walder Frey asks to come too, which Theon allows. They leave the castle with 11 men, 2 boys, and 12 dogs. Reek takes a boar spear and an overstuffed washerwoman's sack with him, but Theon does not inquire as to its contents. It's probably something fucked up, to be honest. The tracks of the direwolves, Hodor, and the 2 reeds are easily found, and the dogs find the scent. They venture northwest into the heart of the Wolveswood. Theon considers that they might be fleeing to Deepwood Motte, unaware that Asha will be occupying the castle. He bitterly thinks to himself that he'd sooner see them all dead, believing it is better to be seen as cruel than foolish. Maester Luwin asks Theon to consider being merciful, not only to Bran and Rickon, but also to the Reeds, citing their values as a hostage against Lord Howland Reed. Theon agrees to spare them all, including Hodor if he can, but Osha, who took an oath, but not Osha, who took an oath and broke it. They find the remains of a freshly killed young elk, clearly killed by the direwolves. Theon realizes that the animal has only been eaten off by the wolves, and that Osha has not even cut off a few steaks. He asks Farland if the dogs could be tracking the wrong wolves, but Farland denies the possibility. They continue, but the dogs lose the scent less than an hour later at a muddy brook swollen with recent rains. They are unable to determine where the wolves left the stream. Wex alerts them to the fact that there are only paw prints visible, but not the prints of men, meaning the wolves entered the water alone. Theon is horrified at the discovery, realizing that Osha likely sent the wolves ahead on their own. He sends Garrus, Merch, and Agar, and 4 dogs to double back and find where the group must have parted from the wolves, while the others follow the direwolves, as they would not part from Bran and Rickon for long. He takes Vex, the Freyboy, and Guinevere Rednose with him upstream. They search on both sides of the stream, but Theon feels forced to give up at midday. When they still have not found a sign of them, they unite with Farland's search party, which has traveled downstream, who bear the same bad news. Garrus, Merch, and Agar have retracted their steps halfway to Winterfell, have not been able to find any sign of the Starks either. Theon does not dare to admit defeat and suggests returning to the brook again. Little Walder Frey believes they are unable to find the Stark children because the Reeds are with them, citing numerous superstitions on mudmen. All men laugh at the notion until Luwin cites how the histories say the Crannogmen had once been close to the children of the forest, suggesting that they may have secret knowledge. Regardless, they return to the stream and search for many a mile. But when the last daylight fades, they are forced to abandon the search. Reek approaches Theon, suggesting that the Starks have traveled northeast in the direction of the Umbers. However, Reek states the children would need shelter someplace closer by, and he might know where that is, mentioning the old mill on Acorn Water. Although Theon questions why the Starks would have gone to hide there, with so many other possibilities nearby, Reek insists on the location. He shows Theon the contents of his sack. When Theon finds the wolf's head brooch, he realizes what Reek is implying. He orders all but Agar, Rednose, and Gelmar to return to Winterfell. Luwin asks him to remember his promise of mercy, but Theon replies that mercy was for this morning. The end.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that's a messed up chapter. The very end of that is messed up. Messed up. The Miller's wife. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love the Marby. I know you know, probably everybody in the chat that reads this and knows the theories, but the theories about the Miller's wife and her family, I love those theories because I think they're true, at least partially true. But yeah, that's a good chapter. It's just, I hate Theon so much. I hate him. Like, I just can't stand him. I don't know about you, but it's an anger in this. It's almost, George writes it so well that, like, this guy, yes, I have to understand he was a captive of the Starks, but he was treated like family, and what he did to Robb was unforgivable, you know?
Yeah.
I do like, there is one part at the very beginning. As Theon slid out from under her arm and got to his feet, a few embers still smoldered in the hearth. Wex slept on the floor at the foot of the bed, rolled up inside his cloak and dead to the world. Nothing moved. Theon crossed to the window and threw open the shutters. Night touched him with a cold finger, and goose prickles rose on his bare skin. You know, like, after in Game of Thrones, there's a scene, one of the first times you meet Ned Stark, from Catelyn's point of view. He just got off her, you know, him and his wife doing marital things. And he crosses the room, same room they're in, and opens up, you know, the window and stands there butt-ass naked, enjoying the cold air, you know? But nothing about goose pimples on the Stark, but Theon there is, because he doesn't belong there. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that, George, I feel like throws in there, and I love it.
Yeah, he's not used to the cold.
Right. And, even though he's lived there, you know?
Yeah, that's a thing, you know, from Seinfeld to shrinkage.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to Norwegians at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the Northeast, so we get semi-shrinkage, you know, because it gets cold up here. It's funny, though. But it's true, man. You know, and then he starts just talking about, like, he rolls the girl over to get the ghost out of his head. You know, he's talking or thinking to himself, all's well, Greyjoy. Hear the quiet? You ought to be drunk with joy. You took Winterfell with fewer than 30 men, a feat to sing of. Theon started back to bed. He'd roll Kyra on her back and F her again. That ought to be banished, these phantoms. Like, you know, like, everything with this kid is sex. Sex will cure it. You know? Always talking about you should have banged Mira. You know, just crazy. You know, the Miller's wife, you know, that's talked about at the end of the chapter 2. You know, rolled with her a couple times. Everything's about a conquest of a woman. And I wonder if that's because he's like a motherless child, you know? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
There's a couple cool things, though. He goes from Stark to, like, Ironborn to Stark to Ironborn. Like, explaining to these guys tactics. They don't even understand why they're keeping this castle. Like, he thinks like a Northernman, but tries to imply he's an Ironborn by his cruelty. But he also promises people, like, you know, like, I will take care of you if you guys just let us know. You know, I won't. You're lucky I didn't throw you down a well. You know, like stuff like that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Given stuff that happens in book 5, right?
Right.
With Theon.
Yep.
Do you and this stuff, because he's clearly, he could be having a personality disorder like schizophrenia.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And it's really acting up later in later books.
Haven't we talked about that theory in book 5?
No.
The Ghost of Winterfell theory?
Yeah, well, we did mention something.
We touched on it, right?
He's basically talking to his former self.
Yeah, he's talking to like an alter version of himself.
But it struck me that George Martin has studied psychology.
Right.
So maybe that there is actually a character with a mental disorder, which is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. I mean, I was always told there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. It's just when you start answering yourself. Like, someone once said that to me, and it's always stuck with me. Like, yeah, you could talk to yourself. But when you really start answering yourself as somebody else, that's when you got some issues. And I was like, I'll remember that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Do you have that problem?
I didn't think it was a problem.
Sorry about that. I'll call for help. There was a couple other things that went on in the chapter. I hate these chapters, so I just kind of run through them. He's not a dumb kid, though. You know, he realizes the horse is still there, so they had to go on foot. He figures they realize that there's only paw prints, so they must have doubled back. He's a good tracker. It's funny that they're hunting people and he's with Reek, though. Or Reek.
Yeah, and Reek brought a boar spear.
Yeah.
That's probably the best weapon against a direwolf.
Genius. Right?
Yeah. Unless you have a bow. Well, you probably need many bows to take down a direwolf, actually.
Yeah, I wonder, like, these these are mythical direwolves. Their coat and their skin must be almost like, you know, hitting a bulletproof vest. So, yeah, I would think so. But a boar spear, that's genius. Keep them far away from you, you know?
Well, actually, you know what they do? They put it on the ground.
Right. They anchor it on the ground, right, on an angle, right?
Yeah, and then when the animal rushes you, you raise it just before it hits, so it impales itself.
Like a last second raise.
Yeah, you have to be pretty damn brave to do that.
Yeah. Now, is this the chapter? I see you didn't read it. You haven't read it recently. Can't remember if this is the chapter he throws the dude down the well.
No, I think it's some of these synopses though are terribly written because they go into too many details on stuff that doesn't even matter.
Right.
You know, they went up and down, and you don't have to describe the whole search, right? They could have just said they figured they had doubled down and they kept searching for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Instead of having like many paragraphs of it, you know.
Right.
Who searched where, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Georgia. Because I'm like going through it right now, and even just like you read that part, the explanation of who he'll like spare, not Osha though, is like almost a page and a half long.
Yeah, but I mean the synopsis, the person who writes it's just it's not a synopsis if you go into that much detail. That's not even needed.
It's like a book report.
Yeah.
You know,
and a bad one.
And I was glad how you picked up that last. There was an error there where they returned to the stream. They wrote they returned to the Steam. You skipped right over that. You were like streamed and searched for many miles. I thought that was good. I like the talking about the children of the forest. I want to say in the last chapter they brought up Arian. Oh God, what is his name? Arian Brightflame, and the Tyrion chapter, the guy who drank wildfire, and that's one of the Duncan Eggs stories. He was one of Egg's brothers that drank wildfire and thought he would turn into a dragon.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Did not work. Now they're talking about the Cro-Magnon man, the Chronic man, you know, learning secret knowledge from the children of the forest. I believe they interbred with them. I mean, they have that smaller body type and features of, you know, a child of the forest.
More often than not, the Reeds and the Cranagmen are mentioned in the same chapters as the children of the forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Tina. Yes, please visit me on Odyssey. I don't know how. I haven't checked Odyssey in a little bit because I am stupid. Because they actually pay me cash. Every time I look at a video, they give you money. It's crypto money, but they still give you money. So check out Odyssey. If you guys aren't subscribed to me over there, please do. Thanks, Tina. I always forget to bring that up. Boar hunting ended, King Robert, the boar plus the spiked wine. Yes, it did. And I always wondered if there was some type of connection why he would grab it. But I think it's just that goes to show you Reek is an intelligent guy who doesn't play on wanting you to know he's intelligent. Like, that's the smartest weapon he could have grabbed. And then to bring that bag with the brooch, you know, and the probably a cloak that's a Stark cloak, you know, with him to go see the miller and her children, like, that's messed up. The dude is messed up.
What's even more messed up is when we get the Reek reveal and we find out how he got so dirty.
Yeah, exactly. And there's Machini 90. I'm sorry, real quick. Machini 90 just hit 600 subscribers. Sorry I couldn't be there, brother. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you, Machini. Guys, definitely. Let's get him to 1,000. We're really trying to help him out. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. That thing with Reek, which isn't in the show, is probably one of the most messed up things in the books, if you actually think about it.
Right.
Which I did.
Yeah.
Just the logistics of it, kind of.
Which Reek? This Reek?
The one who kills a lady and disguises himself with her shit.
Yes. Yeah, pretty fucked up.
That is very fucked up.
Yeah.
I bet you George Martin was cackling when he wrote that.
I know, he's such a sadistic bastard. I love it. I always wondered, did Reek create Ramsay or did Ramsay create Reek? The original. You know what I mean?
I think it was just given Reek.
Yeah, that's a weird connection. I still don't...
Yeah, but I think that hadn't there been 3 and one of them ate the other?
The original Reek is the original. Like, that's the one that was Reek before him.
Yeah, but he had eaten someone.
Did he? I don't remember that. Oh, we're going to find out, though. That's crazy. You're such an old cranky bastard, the Time Prophet. I love this. I can't be bothered. I know you said I think you're Scottish. I know you're not Scottish. He's Scottish. Everybody's Scottish. He just doesn't want me to know that. I can't be bothered with Odyssey. Nothing personal, but I am so busy with making videos without having to log into all these different sites. New videos nearly finished, though, with my animation. Well, let me know when that's so I can tweet that out for you. Ginger Ninja, what's the hell?
Robotic.
See you.
You're very robotic.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm freezing up. Oh my god.
Like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I think he froze. I'll just take some questions from the chat until he comes back. Yeah, he's absolutely super roboting. Do you want a spork after your name? Become a channel member. Oh, he names people with sporks. I didn't know that. You know what? You know what, Time Prophet? I agree with you. I can't be bothered logging into all kinds of stuff as well. I don't have an Instagram account or anything. It just.
Are you here? Can I hear anybody?
Yeah, you're robotic again.
What's going on with StreamYard?
It's fine on my end, so it's probably.
I can hear you. I couldn't hear you. Now I can hear you. Are you there? I'm here. You there?
Yeah.
Everything's working really slow on StreamYard right now, so bear with me. I may go robotic again.
You are robotic again. Like really robotic.
Still?
Oh yeah. Apparently
so
I sound
weird.
perfectly fine. You don't.
Oh my god. It's happening. I'm back. RoboSport is back. Still? I switched to that. Is it still bad?
Oh, it's really bad.
Crap! Alright, we're gonna have to call it a day. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm gonna have to restart my internet. It's showing such a weak signal and I'm plugged directly in.
I don't know. Maybe Windows updating. It does that sometimes. It fucks up the internet speed.
Let me just check my network. Yeah, connected. That's so weird. Ethernet not connected.
Well, you know what? Mara had the same problem with StreamYards on Saturday. I was on her channel. Yeah, the same thing happened to her, and she got booted as well. And StreamYard said there was no internet connection, even though there was.
That's so weird. Am I still robotic?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Guys, we're going to have to call it a night because I can't. My signal strength is terrible right now. It's unstable. So I apologize.
Nobody can hear what you're saying. You know what? Type it in the private chat and I'll read it on your behalf. Well, he vanished. That did not work. Anyway, we're going to call it a night because Sporking has terrible internet problems, as you can see and hear. But we'll be back. We'll be back next Monday, I believe, and maybe we'll do a couple of chapters then. Anyway, have a splendid.
I can't even type it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
we're calling it a night. I don't know if you can hear me. We're calling it a night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody.
Take care and be well, and have a splendid week.